Hi, everyone. Hey, how are you doing today? Welcome, welcome. So, this is our first Tuesday tech, and it's a tech talk, and we're doing it live. So, I'm really excited to have this opportunity to be here with you. And you kind of look here I have my phone on, right? So, I could see some of the comments that we have coming in. But welcome to this broadcast. I'm excited to be here with you today. As I said, this is our first Tuesday Teacher Tech Talk, and I am so excited to offer this for everybody. Okay, so our topic today coincides with an hour of code, and an hour of code is a worldwide movement where teachers and students across the globe learn about computer science and engage in lessons about coding. So if you have any questions about our topic tonight, put those questions in the chat and I'll do my best to answer them live. And of course, if someone in the chat, if someone in our group tonight, if you know an answer to any of the questions, go ahead and put those responses in the comments too, because to me this is a collaborative event, a collaborative learning opportunity. We all come together with different experiences, and as a result, we can continue to learn from each other. And so if you can do me a favor tonight, during our time together, please hit that appreciation button, the like and the heart, and share this Teacher Tech Talk with your friends. When you appreciate this video and you also share it, this lets others know about the work that we are doing in education, and it builds our community. So if you're watching this on the replay, because I know time-wise not everybody can hop on the live tonight, but if you watch it on the replay, please post #replay in the comments, and I still want you to ask those questions because I'll come back and I'll provide some support after this broadcast. All right, so let me check the chat box and see what kinds of questions that we might have, and let me go back in here and look. All right, so I think we're pretty good. Okay, so all right, so have you heard about code or computer science? So if you have heard about code or computer science, I want you to place that 1 in the chat box. And if this is your first time hearing about this topic, then place a 2 in the chat box. All right. So it looks like we actually don't have a whole lot of people on here tonight. So, all right, so if you actually watch the replay and you can put a 1 or a 2 in the chat box, then that gives me some information about our community and some support that people might need, okay? So coding has been that buzzword for several years as teaching computer science is continuing to be added to the curriculum. So computer science builds upon technology standards that have been in place for many, many years. And if you're familiar with the International Society of Technology Education, that organization shares some standards for students and teachers and educational leaders. And so if you look at your school or your state standards, your district standards, you will probably have some technology standards in there too, because technology is something that we use not as a separate curriculum, but as in part that is integrated or embedded into everything else that we teach. Okay, so I want you to be thinking about that technology and about that computer science. And then I want you to think, and in the chat box, I want you to put a 1, 2, or 3 based upon these questions I have. So when you're thinking about that computer science, all right, so I want you to put a 1 in the chat box if you're thinking, why do I need to teach computer science? I have enough curriculum to teach and not enough time to teach it. So I can't add another thing to my plate. If that's you, I want you to put a 1 in the chat box. And if you're a 2, I want you to put a 2 in the chat box. If computer science, isn't this just teaching students how to use a computer? And I already do that, okay? And then if you're a 3, I don't have any training in computer science, and this is something students can learn in high school. So why do I need to teach it at the elementary school? All right, well, believe me, I know exactly what you're thinking because these all were my same thoughts. Over the years, I've learned more about computer science and why this is important to teach. So I was right there with you thinking, why do I need to teach this? Because I already have a litany of other courses that I have to teach during the day. Computer science, I just don't have more time to teach that. And it's something that they can be learning later. So right now in elementary, I need to focus on helping the students learn how to read, write, and math, and explore other subject areas in science and social studies and health. So those are my thoughts. But over the years, that's where I started to learn more and more about computer science and why this is an important topic to teach. So in today's Tuesday Teacher Tech Talk, I want you to share your concerns, share your stresses, share your struggles, and also share those questions. I want to uncover the mystery and the fear that so many educators experience. Okay? Does that sound like a plan for you? All right. So in that chat box, I want you to keep posting those questions and those comments because I want everybody to be able to walk away with a better understanding about computer science and coding and how you can easily implement this into your program that you do at school. Okay. So before we go any further, let me introduce myself. For those of you who may not know me, I am Dr. Annette Durbin. I'm a National Board Certified Teacher with more than 30 years teaching experience in all grades, preschool through 6th grade, all of them. I've taught in public school, private school settings, and I even took time away to homeschool my own children for a few years. So I am also a mentor, I'm an author, I'm a digital content and course creator, and I love family trips, family time, game nights, and making a difference in our community. But back in 2010 is when I began working on my doctorate degree. And at that time, I could see how that technology was playing more of an important role in education. And it was then that I began to learn more about technology in education. And a couple of years later, I attended my state's technology expo, you know, that ISTE, we called ASTE, is Alaska Society for Technology Education. And it was very interesting, all right? So in one of the classes that I attended, the presenter brought some students in from her class to help teach coding. And this is the first experience that I've had with it. So you should have seen the pure excitement that these students had when they were showing what they were learning and they were teaching all the teachers in the class. I knew that I needed to dig into this. And so this, it just made so much sense knowing that I needed to do this because in my classroom of 30 kids, I had a full class of digital natives to work with every day. And I also knew that technology wasn't going to be going anywhere. So I dug in to learning some coding and not too much, okay, but mainly I learned alongside my students. I did not have time to take another course. I did not have time to take to go to the university and learn about coding and computer science. So it was something that based upon the presentation, I was able to do it and learn alongside my students. And it was so much fun. So that is just a little bit of backstory. However, if you'd like to learn more about my backstory, then go visit my website. And if you haven't been there, I'd like to show you some different websites for tonight to help you get started so that you can be successful. All right, so let me switch over to my next screen here. All right, so this here is my, my website, all right? And let me click out of that box. I got some extra boxes open here. I don't know why that one's not going away. Okay, so this here is my website. And at the top, you know, blueribbonteacher.com. And this was one that is new. I just transferred everything from the digital teacher blog because early on when I started this, it was more of my focus doing technology. But since then, I've realized that, you know, I am a general education teacher, I'm an instructional specialist, and I really enjoy teaching the full curriculum. So I was having a hard time with the name the digital teacher blog where it was a pillar, and really my work is that I was sharing was more broad. Okay, but anyways, if you can go here to our website, and then what you'll be able to see, this is the homepage. And I have information here. I have the video that's focusing on that transformation from the digital teacher blog to Blue Ribbon Teacher. More information here. Just a reminder about those free resources that I have on my website for everybody to be able to access. And also, if you continue to scroll down, you'll learn more about my blog. I've got lots and lots of different pieces of information there for you. Some information on how to access the training and the other resources that I offer, and also all the information about our social media, okay? And so this is a great place for you to go to get started and learning more about the work that I do. But I hope that you have had a chance to click on the blog here. And this takes you over to the blog, maybe. And there we go. And then this one here, how to teach coding and computer science. This is the one that is just started, that I just posted this week, okay? And I wanted to make certain that you see this, because when you open it and you can read about my coding experience and some my backstory, as well as lots of different resources in here, you will be able to learn more and more about coding. So before I go any further, I do want to share with you the sidebar. If you haven't been here, I want to call your attention to this section here called December events. And this is where I post things that are coming up that I'll be doing. And as I'm getting all my tools and resources together, I am trying to do more opportunities where we can actually engage in conversations, whether we do a Facebook Live or whether we do Zoom sessions or whether we do some group mentoring or one-on-one mentoring or coaching, okay? So keep an eye on that, and I always try and keep that updated. All right, so one of the things that I wanted to share with you is this video. This is a great video that it comes from the Hour of Code, and I want to play this for you because it's just a short introduction about coding and the kids' experience with it. So hopefully this sound comes through, and looking here. If it doesn't come through, simply just go to my website and you'll be able to see it there too, but I hope it does come through for you. I'll turn the volume up. All right, so as you can see, the students, there is just pure joy, pure excitement in the coding. And I got to tell you, that same excitement is what I experienced whenever the students were teaching us teachers. And that same experience, and actually it was more because they were actually my students that I was able to work with. It was just so rewarding. So I just wanted to share that quick little video with you so you can actually see what that coding means for the students and how it's actually making an impact on the students. And talk about motivating and engaging students. Whenever I did the code with my students, they were, oh my gosh, 100% engaged, very, very motivated. Some of the students wanted to work on their coding at home. And then it was so much fun because I was learning alongside them. If they had a question, they would come to me, but soon they found out. I would say, well, go find a friend, or go look and see who else has that same question or who else is trying to figure that out. So the problem solving and the critical thinking that was going on in my class with the students, and the collaboration, the back and forth with each other, students teaching students, it was just absolutely phenomenal. Gosh, I just can't. It was amazing. So what did I do to get started? All right, so I want to share with you a couple different things. One thing that I want to share with you first is this ISTE website. And the ISTE website, again, is where I look at this. There's 7 different pillars. And if you look here at the standards, you'll see that there are, whoops, we've got to click down here. There we go. So you can click on the standards and see what the standards are for the students and for the teachers and for educators. And the really cool thing then about the standards is it breaks it down, and there's little like videos that you can watch that will support your knowledge in developing those. One of the things that I did about a month ago during Digital Citizen Month, I actually created I've created a video focusing on the digital citizenship pillar, and you can go to my YouTube channel and you can see that video there. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out by email, or type the question in on the comments, and I will go back and I'll check those questions and help you out. Okay. And then also, anytime you have questions, if it's a longer if it's you require additional support, then don't hesitate to reach out, and let's hook up on a Zoom call, so that way I can support you and provide the help that you might need. Okay, so this ISTE is a great resource that you can use, so that way you can get those standards and see what you can do to support the students with those. Okay, so that's there. There's also a blog component with that too. Okay, all right, so the next thing I wanted to share with you, and I don't wait, we keep getting all these little windows popping up. This one here is called an hour of code, and this is what's happening worldwide. And this, oops, you know what? I had like the there. I wanted to show you. This is the actual website. So it's an hourofcode.com, and this website, you can see at the top there's different activities and how-tos that you can check out. Let me go to another screen. So there we go. So that way you can see more. Okay, here we go. So here, this is an hour of code activities. And what I wanted to do was to share with you, besides the website link, there you go, write that one down. What I wanted to do was share with you some of the different activities that Hour of Code has that your students can easily do. And any of these, if you look here, it tells you the grade level. So for example, second grade and up, I haven't done this with students younger than second grade, but my daughter, who is also a teacher, she actually does Girls Who Code for her school. And she actually had first graders that she was working with on coding. So, and she was very successful, okay? So these examples here do give you the grade level of second grade and up. However, one thing that you should know, if you do it with younger students, you'll just need to give some additional support. And I would probably recommend maybe working with those students in a small group, so that way they have an opportunity to get some more additional support from you. And then as they get more experience with coding, then the students can be working, you can do it more in a whole group setting, and then students can also help each other. Okay, so one of the great things again about this coding is the cross-curriculum opportunities that are available. As you can see, there are a variety of activities here that you can access. These are all free, okay? Nothing is going to cost you a cent. And if you want to take time to go through them yourself ahead, you could do that. I would recommend going through one or two of them ahead of time, especially if you're going to be using them with the students. And then you kind of know what to expect when the students are doing it on their end. But after the students have time working on this, they can just jump right in. They can, click on any of these and go ahead and do it themselves. All right, so these are just some of the many, many examples. Here you can see there are intermediate, 5th grade, 6th grade, 8th grade activities. And of course, the difficulty is going to be increasing, right? But what a great opportunity for students to be working in reading and writing and math in these different coding experiences, they're also developing, as I mentioned, problem solving and critical thinking skills. As I also shared, the students are able to communicate their work, they communicate their progress, they're learning to their peers, and you'll find them collaborating and teaching each other as they create. And the excitement is just like it's that synergy that just continues to build and build. And, you know, it's not like chaos or chaotic or loud or anything like that, but the kids are all working. So look at all these. There's many, many, many different opportunities here. And this is on hourofcode.com. If I go back up to the top, let me think here. I clicked on, here we are on activities. Yep, I think that's the same one. So if we go to the How To tab, here it talks about how to plan your hour of code. Now, traditionally, this week, December 5th through the 11th, is when we actually have the global hour of code. However, coding doesn't need to just happen this one week. This just happens to be the week where globally we are working to encourage more and more students to participate in coding. And your school may have an hour of code planned where everybody participates during that same 1 hour, one day during the week. Or maybe it's just by your grade level, or maybe it's your class. I know when I started it in my school, it was just my class that participated in an hour of code, and that was it. And then I was able to share with the other teachers, and then gradually a few more teachers were able to join in participating in coding. It wasn't during that same week, but it was something that the students were excited about, and they did continue to learn throughout the year with that. So this takes you step by step. Here's another video that you can watch on how to implement your hour of code. Some more activities and tutorials. So there's a lot of information here. You can create your own plan for the day. And the really cool thing is that once the kids get practice doing the code here, then you can bring in other technology pieces. For example, the Spheros. Those things that kids love to program, and then they can also operate those, and you can do make up different mazes and courses and things for the kids to do on that they participate in. And then, of course, to promote your hour of code. So here you go on this hour of code. It's step by step, tells you what you can do, gives you some activities, gives you some tips on doing your own hour of code. But one of the things that I know is that once your students get coding and you see that joy and excitement, this isn't going to be the last time that you do coding. So that brings me to the next page that I wanted to talk to you about. And this one here is CS First, and it's on Google. And I absolutely love this. So after I did the hour of code with my students, then I started working with the CS First program. And this was actually what the students and the teacher were sharing when they did their presentation at the Technology Expo. So on this, what I love about this, it is a computer science program. There are lots of different activities, and they have them broken down into different levels. So here you can see this one here says introductory, and this one here is, I think it says intermediate, and then a beginner. So there are an advanced. So those are the 4 different categories that Google offers different learning opportunities for students to participate in. And as you can see, you can integrate the coding into reading, writing, math, into social studies, into science, into art. It is definitely cross-curricular. Remember at the beginning of our presentation and learning tonight, I shared that technology is not a standalone learning opportunity, right? Technology is not just math. It's not just science or just social studies or just reading or writing. But if you think about thematically teaching, then the technology is going to be integrated into everything. Okay, so these are some examples of the different levels. But if you click here on See All Curriculum, let's click there and see what happens. All right, so here you'll be able to see lots of different, so characterization, interactive presentation, dialogue, narration, figurative language, Code Your Hero, CS First Unplugged. And of course, these are all different levels. So if this is your first time for you and your students, I would definitely start out with an introductory. Then I would go to beginner and then have some of the intermediate and advanced. Over the course of the year, my kids started out as a beginner and ended up as an advanced. And they loved it. So here you are seeing some of these projects that are just like 1 or 2 hours, couple hours long. But then you'll see that there are opportunities to have a multi-day unit. So you can do music, right? Fashion design, storytelling, and these are multiple days. So it's not something that the students can finish up in one day. So maybe it's just a week long, okay? Here are some of the advanced sports and game design. How many of your students want to be a game designer, okay? So these are fabulous ways for you to integrate coding into the work that you're already doing in the classroom. All right, how exciting is that? Let's get some. All right, so now, if you thought that was great, right? So we have our, like, if you want to use an analogy of an ice cream cone, so we have our cone, right? We're at the hour of code. We put in some ice cream. We added some more stuff on top of that, and that would be the different activities through either hour of code or CS first. But are you ready for that cherry on top and the sprinkles? So when you, and this is only for the code, for the Google, okay? So when you are doing on the Google site, what I want you to do is to go to the resources tab. So when you get to the resources tab, let me get this one out of the way. So when you're on the resources tab, everything that you need to implement any of these coding activities that you saw on the Google specifically are here for you. And you can get these through PDFs. You can print off the material, or what I like is actually ordering it. So all of these materials are free. When you set up your account and place your order, you can order as many different boxes as you want. When I started with an introductory. I think I got 1 introductory and 2 beginners, and they were different topics, right? And I'm here in Alaska, and can you believe it that literally it took 2 days, yes, 2 days for me to get a box. And I just ordered a box yesterday, and I was hoping that I would have it for today, right? But I don't yet. So as soon as I get it, I won't be able to hop on tomorrow night, Wednesday night to do this for you, but on Thursday night I'll hop on and do a quick opening the box so that you can see all the fun that is inside that Google box. Okay, so when you get your materials, then it walks you step by step of what you're supposed to do. The materials that you see in the box are going to be the exact same materials that you'll see on the PDFs. Okay. And so here, you have these little videos, and the kids can watch the videos, and then it helps them to understand what it is that they need to do. So there is some text to read. It's not a lot of text, but there is some text, and students can read that. They can also watch a video for that additional support. Whenever I'm think about these, I always think about this multiple intelligences. Some students learn by reading, some students learn by watching, and then students also learn by doing. So this really hits all of those different areas. And the topics, of course, are cross-curricular and hit all the different multiple intelligences. So what you want to do is create that teacher account. Once you're inside and you have that teacher account, that's when you're able to place your order, okay? And then, like I said, it takes you literally just two days to Alaska, of all places, 2 days to get those materials, okay? But here it walks you step by step on what it is that you would need to do from, right here, getting started, telling you what is CS first. CS stands for computer science. How to create the teacher account. It walks you through setting that teacher account up. Then what's inside the computer science first curriculum. Talks about using Scratch, all right? And Scratch is like the language that we talk about whenever we are in the coding program. And there's also different vocabulary words that you'll learn, as students will learn about it as well, like Sprite. Those would be your characters, not a can of a soda, but some Sprite. Then you have your what's that one? It starts with an L. It's like the loop. That's what it is, loop. So there's different things, and the way that the students put the directions together is what creates their coding. And then they'll start looking at the commercials, and they'll start looking at the way things operate in the classroom electronically, looking at those things in new ways. So it's pretty impressive. Connecting CS First to your Google Classroom so that way all students have access to it. And hopefully your school uses a Google Classroom. I know lots of schools do. If not, it is free. Definitely something to check into if your school doesn't use that. But I would highly recommend that because you can easily set up your students in a Google Classroom and then they can access the materials very easily. And then also CS from the student perspective. And then guess what? There are some tips for supporting those students. So again, there's videos here that you can take a look at for each of these. Here, as I mentioned before, are the print materials. So you can print your materials or you can order them. All right. I recommend ordering them just because it's something that's different for the kids instead of printing another piece of paper. It saves us at the school, it saves us toner and it saves us paper. So of course you could download it and upload it into your Google Classroom as well. One of the things that I do like about the books is that there are stickers, and when students complete a task, they come to you and they have their sticker, and you can put their sticker in their book, and it's kind of like their award for completing that task. Stickers is totally optional. Middle school students probably won't need a sticker, but the elementary kids definitely like the stickers. And then the other cool thing is at the end of the session, if you're, depending on how you're doing it, whether you're doing it in just like, a 30 or 40 minute block during the school day, or if it's like over a week-long process, but you'll definitely want to save time for the students to present their work. So they're computer engineers. That's the job that I call the students. So they are a computer engineer. They are learning about computer science, and they are engaging in coding as their activity. So feel free to use that term, computer engineer, because that's really what the task is. And then also here, let me look here. We got the classroom kit, and that's what you can get if you want those printed handouts and stickers and lesson plans. Everything is all ready and set to go. Again, there's some professional development for teachers. So if you want to know more information, there is that available. And then, they also have their help center, and they're very, very responsive to, for supporting teachers, educators, whether you're in private school, public school, or homeschool, whether you're doing a daycare and it's an after-school program, or it's a camp in the summertime, or a vacation camp during spring break or the holiday break, the coding is perfect for, goodness, anytime, anytime, after school clubs, before school clubs, whenever. All right, so let me look here. So I wanted to make certain that you know about the hour of code. I want to make certain you know what's available on the Google First, CS First, and the options to get PDFs, and also I'm just looking at my notes, and to get tutorials. And then look here. Yep, we already talked about the different levels, and I think that's it. I'm looking here. Okay, I think we're doing good. All right, so however you decide to use this, it is going to be a win-win. If students are learning and they're having fun and they're motivated and engaged, it's definitely a win-win. So let me come back to you full screen. All right, so what do you think? Are you ready to jump in? I am so excited. And let me know what questions you have in the chat box, and I'll make certain to get those answered for you. But before we go tonight, I want to first thank you for stopping by tonight or catching the replay and participating in our first Teacher Tech Talk. I would like to continue to do these Teacher Tech Talks. Tuesday is kind of nice because of the alliteration, right? Tuesday Teacher Tech Talk. But I know sometimes Tuesdays are not the best time to do that. As a classroom teacher myself, then I'm at school working during the day, and since I'm in Alaska, that time zone gets to be a little cumbersome for some people, especially out on the East Coast, which I understand. I grew up on the East Coast, so. But let me know what other topics you would be interested in discussing. And again, if you're watching this on the replay, please post #replay in the comments so that I know you had a chance to watch it, and then ask those questions. Remember to like and share this video, this information with your friends and your family, your colleagues. And then I'm going to be thinking outside of the box on how you could use coding. It's not just something that you need to use during the school day. Remember, it can be used outside of the school day, so be creative, okay, and think about how this can be used for other other works, or not works, but organizations and clubs, okay? All right, my friends, this was jam-packed full of information. We've got 35 minutes past the hour. I hope that you found value in this. And if you did find value in this presentation tonight, this learning opportunity, please drop me a comment in the chat box and then share this video with your colleagues. I'd love to hear also about your coding experiences that are going on. So in our group, make certain that you let us know. Share about your coding experiences, share the positives, share the questions, share the struggles, so that we can all help you, okay? We are all working here together and we want to help each other. All right, I think that is it. All right, so with that, I would just like to say again, a quick thank you, and to let you know that I really do appreciate you. And I hope that you just have a beautiful and a blessed day. Have fun with that coding, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.